Welcome to the Yukon Artists at Work Gallery. I'm Janet Patterson, the curator of this month's group show, Blind Encounters. And the idea for this show came about because I was thinking of that childhood game that some of us called broken telephone, or others might know it as the whisper game, when there'd be a lineup of children and the first child would whisper a sentence to the second child. That second child would whisper the sentence to the third child, and on down the line. And it was always fun to hear the sentence at the end and hear how much it had morphed as it had gone through multiple sets of years. So in terms of an art show, we started by me giving Kathy Pirwar one word, encounter. And she came up with this wonderful piece. She says, wildlife is what she thinks of first when she hears the word encounter. So you've got this scene of this person looking through binoculars at this moose. An image of Kathy's work went to Linda Leong, the second person on the list. And Linda says, when I was shown Kathy's work, it struck me immediately that this was the idea of the watcher, the person secretly studying nature. And so Linda has created this piece of, basically it's about her, the artist, watching the person spying on a moose while being spied on by a raven. Linda's image was sent to Doug Rutherford, who created this watercolor. He says Linda's painting inspired in him the idea of scenery and nature viewed from a high point. So here we have his wife Clara looking down Windy Arm from the Tagish Fire Tower. Doug's image went to Leslie Leong, and she was inspired not by just his piece, but also a recent journey she took into the mountains. And so she wanted to capture the simplicity of hikers watching mountains. Leslie's piece went to Amy Ellis, who created these 3 glass works. And Amy, what she saw in Leslie's piece was this idea of trying to see something that was obscure, that was just beyond. And it made her think of a time when she was in Scotland, looking northwest at the North Sea and imagining what might be there that she couldn't actually see with her eyes. Amy's pieces went to Virginia Wilson, and Virginia said, well, you know, let's take this idea of boats and water, but of course it has to be Yukon boats and Yukon water. So Virginia came up with this beautiful scene. And then Virginia's image went to Suzanne Hauserman. And Suzanne says, Virginia's painting inspired me to create this quilt with the idea of a last canoe trip before it gets too cold. Suzanne's image went to Pat Bragg, and Pat says, I was inspired by the beautiful waterfall of orange leaves in front of the porthole window portrayed in Suzanne's fabric art. So Pat's piece reflects this notion of yellow poplar leaves creating a window on the full autumn experience. Pat's image was sent to Mayan Rosenberg. And Maya says she was really inspired by bright colors meeting one another in a moment of sunrise and sunset, land meets sky and day meets night. So she's created this wonderful sunset or sunrise. I think it's sunrise. And finally, her image was sent to Marie-Hélène Comeau. And Marie-Hélène thought a lot about, okay, what could this word be? Could it be north? Could it be Yukon? Could it be landscape? And she figured if it was something related to the north, she wanted to have a northern icon image. And so she selected this wonderful raven. And that ends the show. It was a lot of fun to put together. I want to thank all the artists for being such good sports about it all. You have until this Saturday, October 26th, to view this in person, and I do hope you're able to do that. Thank you so much.